There's a version of your cat's day you never see. No meowing, no destruction, no obvious signs anything happened at all. You leave, and when you come back, your cat is just there. Calm, unbothered, maybe a little annoyed. So most people assume the same thing. My cat doesn't care that I'm gone. But that assumption, it's not entirely true. Section 1. The independence myth. Cats have a reputation. They're independent, detached, perfectly fine on their own. But research tells a more complicated story. In a 2019 study published in Current Biology, researchers tested how cats respond to their owners using something called a secure base test, which is the same concept used with infants. And the result? A majority of cats showed secure attachment to their owners, meaning they use you as a source of safety and stability. So even if your cat acts indifferent, your presence still matters more than you think. Section 2. What happens after you leave? When you walk out, your cat doesn't panic the way some dogs do. But that doesn't mean nothing changes. Studies observing cats alone at home have found shifts in behavior like increased resting or sleeping, reduced activity, and changes in movement patterns. At first glance, that looks like total relaxation. But here's the catch. Less movement doesn't always mean calm. Sometimes it just means there's nothing worth reacting to. Section 3. Cats don't react the same way as dogs. Dogs tend to show stress outwardly. Cats tend to internalize it. That's why their signals are easy to miss. Instead of barking or destroying things, a stressed cat might groom excessively or become unusually still. So while a dog's stress is loud, a cat's stress can look like nothing at all. Section 4. The moment you return. Now here's where things get interesting. If your cat ignores you when you come home, it doesn't always mean they didn't miss you. In a 2020 study on cat-owner interactions, researchers found that many cats show subtle rebound behavior after separation. That can include staying closer to their owner, seeking interaction later, or increasing social behavior after a delay. In other words, your cat might not greet you at the door, but they adjust their behavior once you're back and feel a sense of relief. Just not in the way you might expect. Section 5. Why your routine matters. Cats are extremely sensitive to patterns. Feeding times, sleep cycles, your movements around the house. So when you leave, you're not just disappearing, you're disrupting a system your cat relies on. That's why even small changes in routine can affect their behavior. Not because they're emotional in the same way humans are, but because their environment just became less predictable. Section 6. The hidden stress factor. Here's something most cat owners never consider. Stress in cats often shows up later, not during the event. Veterinary research has shown that environmental changes, including absence of an owner, can lead to delayed stress responses like changes in appetite, litter box issues, increased hiding, or overgrooming. So your cat might seem completely fine while you're gone, and then show signs hours later. Section 7. What actually helps? Unlike dogs, cats don't need constant interaction, but they do benefit from predictability and control. Things that help include consistent routines, access to windows, elevated spaces, cat trees, interactive toys, and quiet environments. Because for cats, the goal isn't constant stimulation. It's a space that still feels safe, even when you're not there. Section 8. The real takeaway. Your cat is not as indifferent as it seems. It just expresses things differently. No dramatic reactions, no obvious signals, no clear, "I missed you." But beneath that calm surface, your presence still shapes their entire environment. So what actually happens when you leave? Your cat probably doesn't panic, it probably doesn't spiral, but it does notice, it adjusts, it waits in its own way. And when you come back, it recalibrates again. Quietly, subtly, almost invisibly. And that's what makes cats so hard to read. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure to subscribe and share with a fellow cat lover.